All right, we are back with the Astro Daddy podcast. My name is Danny Santos, and today we have the illustrious Svi with us. Hello, dear.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. I just want to do a couple of cleaning. What is that called? Housekeeping things.
Okay.
First and foremost, love is the greatest force in the universe. So anybody who's listening to that, please know that that is true. You've got your heart earrings on today. I know I say this in every episode, but I got to say it again. I have a lot of scam accounts pretending to be me, messaging people asking for money. So if you happen to get someone pretending to be me messaging you for money, please be sure to confirm my identity by having me say my name, your name, and the date in a voice note. Without further ado, Svi, my love. Hi. We originally met through a mutual friend of ours at a party.
Yes.
And we just hit it off really quickly.
Instant connection.
And you love Britney Spears just as much as I do.
Oh my gosh.
Probably more than I do.
She's everything to me.
She is everything.
she embodies my soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But something else that's kind of a cool connection we have is we're both on TikTok with each other.
Yes.
And can you just, for people who don't know you, can you talk a little bit about your TikTok presence, music, some of the other things that you do?
Okay. So I'm first and foremost a musician. I went to Berkeley, like all the training under the sun. I make like Europop, I guess, if you will. I also write with other people in all different genres as well, which is fun. It's good mental work and practice to keep your craft top notch.
Yeah.
I just love music. You just like can't ever be the best at it. So that's why I always come back to it. I always think about, if I could do something else, just do that. And I simply can't. And then TikTok has become like just another outlet for expression. I think because I'm an entertainer, I love performing, I love entertaining, and I just was never good at photos or Instagram or things like that. It never connected with me, and I just knew in my soul I'm better in video. I'm better at when people can see me performing somehow, whether that's like a silly skit or even a meme or a dance. And I kind of got started like over COVID more seriously, doing like skincare.
Yeah.
Because it was just like a hobby of mine. And then that spiraled into, I was like, well, I don't want to be like a skincare influencer. I just like doing it.
Yeah.
And then I just started dabbling in other things. And I was like, I love to dance and I love to perform. And then I started making these like little text clapback videos of like, if some person you're dating ghosts you and then they decide to breadcrumb and like sassy little things like you could potentially say while doing a dance and performing. And it just kind of took off. But yeah, I do like a lot of relationship, dating, best friend, kind of relatable storytelling, if you will. Like just because I'm the person in the video doesn't necessarily mean it's about me.
Yeah.
I'm a storyteller.
I love your unstable baddie videos.
Yes. I'm fully an unstable baddie. You could be completely unhinged and going through it, but like to your core, you know that like you got this and you want to always be evolving and growing and changing and like bettering yourself. And that's what I strive to be in the whole unstable baddie mindset of like, I'm having a really rough week, but at the end of the day, like I know I'll get through it. Yeah. And this is just another stepping stone to being a better version of myself.
Yeah. Can you pull the microphone closer?
Yes, I can.
We want you to be about a fist's worth away.
You know, I should know this by now.
So, all right. So yeah, we've got this kind of cool connection because we met through a mutual friend. We keep following each other on TikTok. I love your content. And the unstable baddie kind of brand fits really well with your astrology.
Oh boy. Oh no.
So can you tell for the folks listening what your sun, moon, and rising sign is in your birth chart?
Aquarius, Aries.
Yes. Same as Stephanie Megan, who does the Broke Girl Therapy podcast.
Okay.
You know, you and her have the same sun, moon, and rising sign. So Aquarius, one of my favorite signs in the zodiac. It's one of my destiny signs.
What does that mean?
That means I need to learn to be more like you.
What's my destiny sign? Well, you'll tell me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, girl.
you'll
We're
tell
going to
me.
unpack the whole thing. And there's things that I do that you need to learn to be more like. So
Okay, great.
We have soul karma together. Like our souls have traveled together before. So it's very interesting. Both you and then our mutual friend who we met through. There's soul contacts with all of us.
Amazing.
But why don't you tell me what you know about being an Aquarius, and then I'll tell you what I know about it.
That I'm creative.
Yeah.
That I don't know if it's an Aquarius thing. I just know I'm very honest, almost to a fault.
Yeah. I think that is a major
I
Aquarius.
am emo. I am so emo. I'm a hard shell, but I'm like really emo to the core. That's probably all I really know. Oh, and then I'm like very expressive.
Yeah, yeah.
I love. It's like I don't like being the life of the party, but when I choose to be, like I love it.
Yeah. So what I know about Aquarius is it's one of the ego signs of the zodiac. So there's something about ego and expression.
Well, maybe that's why I got biggest ego as my senior superlative.
Oh! Well, here's what I like to say.
Also, just a side note, I totally did not have a big ego in high school. Everybody was just voting, and I wanted most musical, and I was going to music school, and nobody wanted to give it to me because I wasn't in band anymore, and they didn't consider voice an instrument.
Why?
So they're like, well, we want to give you something, and we'll just give you biggest ego. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm just like the emo kid that goes to scene shows. Like, I don't care about anything. Okay, we're just going to cut this part out. Cut the whole biggest ego thing out. Okay?
All right.
we don't need this story. It's so irrelevant.
I don't know. I think it's kind of cute.
Stupid.
No, I think it fits for Aquarius because Aquarius is the sign of dissolving your ego.
Oh, well then, okay.
So it's actually about humility.
Okay.
You know?
But if that's the case, then yes, I want to murder my ego.
That's so common with your sign.
I want to murder the ego. It's the worst.
Well, and you're breaking the rules if you're murdering the ego.
Oh, what? Oh, okay.
You know, you can't just like cut it out or remove it.
I need to embrace it.
You have to. And it's ironic because the sign with the biggest ego is Leo, which
Okay.
is the opposite sign of Aquarius. But
I have a lot of best friend Leos.
you're going to get along with them fabulously.
Okay.
But that's because Aquarius is, if Leo's ego is as big as the sun, because Leo's ruled by the sun, Aquarius is the planet, the sign of the planet. You know, it's also Saturn. So yours is as big as that, but Saturn has a ring around it. So your ego is restricted. Saturn teaches us to think about other people more than ourselves. So you have a big ego in the fact that you're thinking about other people more than yourself.
Oh, is that not the truth? That
And
is
You're
110%.
You're breaking the rules.
Okay.
You can only love others as much as you love yourselves. You know?
Cut to the core of me.
I'm just saying that's part of your lessons in this lifetime. You have to learn to balance how much you love yourself with how much you love other people because Aquariuses love the world.
I do love the world. I put myself very last.
Yeah, like Aquariuses are like, well, I'm going to have the bamboo floor mat and I'm going to recycle and I'm going to like think about other people and I'm going to be of service and give my life up for everyone else so that I don't have to think about myself and deal with my own problems. I'm just going to heal everybody else all the time.
Yep.
So in a way, that's also a big ego.
Okay.
You know? So, but Aquarius, that's why it's one of my destiny signs because I have the biggest ego in the world. So I can afford to let mine down a little bit and learn to think about other people more. You know? But for you, it's like you need to think a little bit more of yourself.
Okay.
You have to actually put yourself in the front of your life.
Okay.
And this is part of your lesson. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in your birth chart. But can you just tell me how this is resonating for you or what this means to you?
Well, right now, as I'm dealing with a breakup, my friends are like, you need to put yourself first. And the biggest thing that comes up is like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't even know what that looks like.
Yeah. And putting yourself first. Well, this is where we're going to get a little bit more into the nuanced of the birth chart. So you have a heavy axis between Libra and Aries in your birth chart.
What does that mean?
Well, your past life sign is in Libra. So this means that in a past life, you've already developed beauty, sensuality, pleasure. You already know what it's like to be somebody who can find the balance in all situations. You're relationship oriented. You're a romantic.
That I am.
And you've mastered these qualities as far as you possibly can go and make progress as a soul. You can't become any more beautiful or harmonious or feminine. Does that make sense to you?
Okay.
And then the other past life sign we have is Virgo,
Okay.
the sign of criticism, OCD, control.
Yep.
So when we put Libra and Virgo together as your past life signs, your karmic pattern is to try to control the people you love.
Oh God.
Can you talk to me a little bit about this? Trying to change the people that you love,
Well,
or trying to make them be something that they're not ready to be yet.
I think for me, it's like a safety thing because it feels if I'm used to like a certain routine or a certain way of being and it shifts out, like I feel like my life's so out of control. So I'll try to control everything else around me. And because I feel so lost, like the closest people to me, as long as I know like what's going on, or they almost become an excuse as to why I'm not taking care of myself.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't ever want to change anybody. I want to encourage people to be their best self. And it's almost as if like I want them to be taking care of themselves so that they can set an example for me so that I can then take care of myself.
Oh, Libra South Node. You're finding your self-worth in how much other people value you. So another way to look at this is Virgo's the sign of perfection, control, OCD, purity in a sense, and Libra's love, balance, and relationships. So it could also be that you have a pattern of falling into relationships with people that want to control you, or with people that are themselves critical or hard on themselves.
Yes.
So the lesson is, I guess this episode's going to be about love.
Always.
You can
Story of my life.
you can only love others as deeply as you love yourself.
Yeah.
That's just the rule. So part of your karmic lesson, your destiny in this lifetime, we have 2 destiny signs for you. The first one is Aries, and the second one is Pisces. So,
Oh, is that so?
okay, what's the reaction for?
Like people I'll end up with?
No,
What does that mean in Pisces? I feel like I've had love in Aries, and my most recent is a Pisces.
So he's here to teach you.
I always feel like I'm the lesson.
Well, it's a mirror. Everything
Yeah.
in life is a mirror, So whatever you're going through at any particular time is going to mirror where you're at.
Yeah.
So with Aries as one of your destiny signs, Aries is my Venus in my birth chart. And it's right on top of your destiny and right on your ascendant. So we've got natural friend chemistry. When we hang out, when we talk, it flows. And Aries is the most impulsive sign of the zodiac. So having Aries as one of your destiny signs, if you're using the shadow quality of this, you can't be impulsive and make progress. Instead, you have to just be yourself. Aries is the sign of just being yourself.
Oh, I don't know what that's like.
Well, that's why this is your lesson. Someone positioned you in the cosmos with this kind of birth chart. You have to learn to think about yourself and love yourself as much as you love other people.
Yeah.
That's the karmic destiny. When you hear that, what do you think?
I'm just like, how? How? It's weird. I know it's like, it's a good thing and it gives for better love outward towards others. So maybe I just need to change my thinking or my lens, if you will.
Yeah.
Of like, well, I really do need to be loving myself more, but like, what does that look like? Is still because my mind changes all the time about what I like, what I don't like. So it's hard to like maintain. And if I slip up on, say, like working out, like I know that's really good for me and I know I'll feel less anxious. And when I do it and I get into a routine, like it feels really good. But then the second I miss a day, I'm like, oh, well, it's over. I guess I'm like the worst. And
see, that's the criticism that we talk about from Virgo, perfection.
Yeah. So like if anything, like once I'm in a routine, I try to control that routine and then I'm extra hard on myself if I don't maintain it. And then I think I can't maintain it. And then I try to like at least maintain it in others. If my friend's like, oh, I'm on this whatever routine, And I'm always the first to be like, how's that going? Oh, I thought you were going to do that today. Blah, blah, blah. It works for some friends, like my best friend, Libra friend.
Yeah, yeah.
She like loves that about me. She's like, I know you will always hold me accountable. It does not always work for other people.
Yeah,
So I need to just be like, be mindful. I'm like, okay, what works for someone is not going to work for somebody else. So just
what's wellness for one person could be detrimental for somebody else. So your birth chart is teaching you how to become a shapeshifter. You've already developed Virgo, criticism, health, OCD tendencies, overanalyzing things, being thoughtful, having discernment, being able to judge things well. And then Libra, which is beauty, relationships, romantic love, connection, sensuality. You've mastered these. So the universe is like, all right, girl, next lifetime, we're going to pop you in there and you're going to learn how to love yourself. Because you already know how to do it for other people.
Yeah.
Okay? That's
I
the
do.
lesson.
When I love really big, really hard. And like that, I can't. I'm so not good at like games or like pretending to love somebody less if I just love them a lot.
Yeah. Well, you're breaking the rule. You can only love others as deeply as you love yourself. That is the rule.
So then maybe I'm not loving people as deeply.
Yeah, I think there's something to look at there.
Okay.
Because if you're giving so much of yourself to others but not prioritizing yourself too, then the love is hollow. It will collapse.
Oh, wow.
It will. It's like building a bridge with no foundation.
Yeah.
It'll go for a while, and then at some point people are going to get hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Aries being your destiny sign, we've got Aries rising. So the
I
destiny.
feel like there's a lot of fire in my chart.
There is. The destiny is.
Why? Why am I so flamey?
Because you need to learn how to use that fire to be yourself. You have the fuel.
I'm inflamed. That's what I feel like. I feel inflamed.
Inflammatory. Oh my God. When we have the destiny placement right on the ascendant, the destiny in this lifetime is to learn to love yourself, to be yourself.
Okay.
We also have Mars and Aries in your birth chart. So, and it's in the first house. So you are a little feisty. Like
That's true.
You might not be afraid of having fighting words or.
No, especially if someone comes after a friend of mine.
But see, you're loving them. So that's why Aries, like you have this Mars and Aries, you have a feistiness and a fire. You need to learn to stand up for the people or you need to learn to stand up for yourself the way that you stand up for a friend.
Yeah.
If some guy was being an asshole to your friend at the club, wouldn't you tear him a new one?
Yes. I feel, and now that I think about like my TikTok, it's like I'm teaching people to stand up for themselves.
Yes. So here's the irony, boo. You have broken it down in a Virgo way. You're like, X, Y, and Z. Here is how you can love yourself more.
Yeah.
Stop teaching everybody how to do it and start practicing
Doing
what
it,
you preach, or else then it still becomes hollow.
Yes.
But you have this Mars and Aries. Anybody who sees you, the ascendant, they're going to think you are very Aries-like. Punchy, the unstable baddie, this archetype of somebody who's like, I'm not going to take your bullshit.
Yeah.
But the reality is that's your facade, and you actually have to become your mask. It's what you wear and it's what everybody else sees, but you actually need to become it.
That's what I feel like when I'm on stage.
Okay.
I feel like my most confident, I'm like, oh, this feels real.
Yeah. Well, you can shapeshift into it when other people are watching.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And there's a little codependency there. Mm-hmm. You need to be able to be it when you're privately with somebody that you're having a romantic relationship with. Because when you're in those shoes, you fall into the Libra part.
Yeah.
Of just being like, whatever you want.
Yes.
And then you're breaking the rules.
Yes.
So we also have an Aries moon. So impulsive.
It's like I'm impulsive, but I'm also a control freak. So that's just like really.
Well, when you put impulse and control together, that creates chaos.
Oh, well, that's how I feel out of control all the time.
But this is just part of your lessons. You're just learning.
I hate it.
So
I'm over it. I'm over learning.
What do you think about all of this so far? I'm going to go into a little bit more, but I want to hear what you think.
I mean, it feels very spot on right now,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, our Aquariuses are all about love. That's part of the sign.
That's why I write about love all the time.
That's why.
I'm good at it.
But Aquariuses are also scared of love.
Terrified.
They understand that it's something that can really hurt you.
Yes.
And because Aquariuses already have a wounded ego or a dissolved ego, facing love and heartbreak can shatter you guys.
Oh, yes.
That's why you guys would rather be friends with somebody for a long time first and then start dating them. But you've got a lot of Aries in your chart, so you might run into it a little faster.
I do.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of know usually
Yeah.
pretty quickly. I'm like, oh, we're going to hang out. It's weird. It's like in the beginning of a relationship, if I'm really interested in someone, I'm like, no, you're going to be mine.
Oh.
Like, but then at some point a shift happens where I'm like, then I become terrified.
Yeah, because you're not loving yourself enough to be able to be in the relationship in a stable way. That's the secret.
Yeah.
You know, if you correct this one behavior, your whole life will change. But correcting one behavior also involves correcting 1,000 choices you make every day. So the devil is in the details. So for you, your other destiny sign we have is Pisces. So that's my sun, moon, and Mercury sign. So we got to work together, boo. We got a lot of work to do. And I hope one day we can tour playing music together.
That'd be awesome.
You know, I think it would be really fun. What do you know about Pisces?
Emotional.
I cried this morning. So
Yeah.
twice.
The person I love is a Pisces.
Tell me about him if you're comfortable.
Yeah. He is extremely empathetic, working on himself, doing the things that I probably should be doing. That's why we're not together right now. So, because he's taking the time to take care of himself.
Yeah.
And I really admire that. So it's like, that's what I want for people. So I think that's the hard part is knowing that you can't be a part of that journey.
Yeah.
But who knows what the future holds. So,
well, let's talk about Pisces.
Yeah.
I've mastered this one. In my next lifetime, I'd have to make this my past life sign because I can't do it any better. Pisces is the sign of spirituality. It's also one of the signs of love. Mm-hmm. So when Pisces are in your life, they will love you really hard as long as their emotions aren't getting in the way.
Yeah.
Pisces can suffer from ego problems a lot of the time. They want to put everybody else first too. It's kind of like being a Libra. Mm-hmm. You know, it has that quality. So you and him are mirroring each other in that way.
Yes.
Because he wants to love you and you want to love him. But the solution is that you have to love yourself and he will match. You guys are already tied to each other. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So if you go and heal and give him space, and you're an Aquarius, so you know how, you're going to be okay.
Okay.
Do you know that he loves you?
Yeah.
You know that he loves you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you love yourself?
No.
Does he love himself? Look, this is how soulmates work.
Yeah.
You can only love others as deeply as you love yourself.
Yeah.
If you give him space and time to let you heal, he will match. That's just the rules.
I know. It's like when your brain and your heart just don't want to meet. Like my heart feels pain. My brain feels logic and understands this. And like, it's like if this was a friend going through it, I'd be like, well, see from this person's perspective. And like, would you want that for them? Like I could map it out so beautifully. And like, I totally get it, rationally get it, like all objectively get it.
Yeah.
But the emotion just is like, just missing.
Yeah.
It's like not connecting. And I wish it would connect because then it would like heal my heart a little bit.
And that can be an incredibly painful thing.
Yes.
When you and somebody else love each other so much and you're mirroring each other and you're pushing and pulling for each other. But that push-pull dynamic comes from something deeper inside. Mm-hmm. You know? So you and this Pisces can have it if you want it. Pisces is one of your destiny signs. You know, you're here to learn from him.
Yeah.
And he's here to learn from you. You're bringing destiny to his ego. And his ego is bringing destiny your way. Mm-hmm. So there's a connection. Give him space to heal.
Yeah.
You can only love others
As much as you love yourself.
And that's just the rule. If you want love in your life, start with you.
My, excuse me, my issue, I think sometimes, and just in relationships in general, I feel like a lot of or it's so much easier to feel like your problems and things are that, or you create an illusion of like, oh, I am loving myself when you're by yourself, right? But then the second you're with your friends, your coworkers, or a partner, that's when the real work comes in, because you have your triggers that come up that like you didn't necessarily heal as easily as you could if you're by yourself. Like you think, oh, I'm like whole, perfect, and complete now by myself. It's always easier. Like I always feel like if I'm by myself, I'm like, oh, like, yes, I'm strong. I'm all the things. Great. And then it's just falling back into that habit. So my question, what is my question? What am I trying? There's a point to this, and this is where my ADHD like really.
Well, we both have heavy Aries placements.
Yeah.
So ADHD is very common with this one.
I guess like I feel like the work of me loving myself will only really kick in if I'm with somebody and actually like doing that. To me is the hardest work, is when you're reflecting in somebody else. So
Libra South Node in your birth chart. You've mastered learning about yourself through your relationships. You're not going to win this battle by being with somebody else to learn. You have to do the inner work. Pisces is the sign of touching the soul. Mm-hmm. You have to go in, maybe some plant medicine journeys, some shadow work, some spiritual coaching. I do all of these services. So, I can help you get there. Yeah. So
you think my work is alone?
Yes, it's internal process. But here's the thing.
I feel like I become very avoidant when I'm by myself.
That's what you need to look at.
Okay. Because I'm anxious with other people.
Yes.
But then avoidant
with yourself.
Yeah.
So that's an extreme.
Yeah. I'm either
you need to learn to walk the middle of the road.
Yeah, I don't know gray. and gray is one of my favorite colors to wear. I have a lot of gray. I own a lot of gray.
This brings us to Sagittarius.
Okay.
Sagittarius. It's your Saturn. You have Uranus in Sagittarius and Venus in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is my destiny sign. Mm-hmm. It's what I'm here to learn, how to walk the middle of the road. And your Saturn is 18 degrees Sagittarius, right on my destiny. So you and I have a soul contract. Yay. We're going to be friends for life.
Oh, I know this.
I know this too.
It's like you meet people and I'm like, you were put here for a reason for me.
And same, yes. Yeah. When we went and had sushi and talked about Britney Spears at one time for like an hour, that was amazing. It's
also just like energies.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you see people, I don't know. Is this an Aquarius thing or just a person thing? But it's like I can be in a room. I'll immediately, just by walking past somebody, I'll be like, I'm going to be friends with you. I'm going to be friends with you. Probably won't connect with you. This. I'm very like observant at parties, and I'll be like very much a wallflower because I want to watch people and how they are and how they interact. So I know how much of myself I'm allowed to give them. Yeah. Or so I don't offend anybody. Again, I'm thinking about others instead of myself. Okay.
So
life lessons.
The thing with Aquarius.
Oh God. Now I'm seeing it.
You're seeing it. But
instead of just being me.
Yes, instead of just being yourself.
Yeah, because I'm like, when I met you, I was like, oh, I can be myself. There's I don't have to worry about offending this person. I feel like, oh, he's secure. He's just like,
I let myself be myself, you know? But when I met you, I was suffering with a really bad eating disorder, you know? And then like, you know, you can only meet others as deeply as you met yourself. And I felt like, you know what? I don't know what's going on with you, but I'm trying to heal myself and I just want to be there. And we talked at that party for a long time, you know? But it's like the more that you heal yourself, the deeper your relationships can be. Yeah. Because then when other people are going through shitty things, you can take their hand and be like, you're going to get through this. And you know it's true because you've gotten through it.
How is it that even when I'm going through it, I feel like I can like hold everybody's weight, even though I know it's like so detrimental to me?
It's your Libra South Node.
Is it like really that strong?
Yes. The South Node is where your gifts are found and where your restriction is found. It's what you're so fucking good at. It's basically where your soul comes from, the South Node. It's what you've mastered. It's where is the cloth you're cut from. So Virgo and Libra.
Virgo.
But you're talking about being able to see people's auras.
Yeah.
Aquarius is ruled by the third eye. Aquarius and Taurus are very similar in the zodiac because Taurus can accept things for what they are.
My mom.
There you go. So Taurus is see the physical manifestation of things. Like this table's black, your hair is blonde. My podcast has lots of pretty colors on the image for it. Like it just sees it for what it is. But an Aquarius looks at something and thinks like the podcast picture has lots of colors because it kind of looks psychedelic, and that's what this podcast is about. A Taurus sees things and accepts it for what it is. An Aquarius sees something and sees it for what it really is.
My mom likes to say, seeing the trees versus seeing the forest.
Yes. So, but they're both ego signs to see what's in front of you clearly. A Taurus would never go to a fig tree and be like, "Why aren't you a maple?"
Yeah.
Whereas an Aquarius will put their hand on the tree and say, "What is your name?"
Oh. That does feel that really resonates all of a sudden. I was I would do that.
But
like, tell me more.
But that's what Aquarius is.
Yeah.
It sees things for what they truly are. That's why they're not judgmental. You're not going to judge somebody based on their appearance, based on their political views, based on anything. You're going to say like, okay, yeah, like I see on an outside level that you're voting for this person and dressing this way and have this body weight and whatever.
I just see everybody as a child where I'm like, we were all children and pure and innocent. And I'm like, you're just a circumstance of like your surroundings and your experiences and your family and where you were born and whatever. And I can, unfortunately, sometimes I think empathize with my worst enemy. Certain things are unforgivable, obviously.
Yeah.
But I can like understand the root of it and be like, but two things can be true at once, you know?
Yeah. So that's what we see when we have that Aquarius energy.
Yeah.
You can see the truth. That's why one of Aquarius's best colors is purple.
Oh my God, I love purple.
There you go. Because they're psychic. But Aquariuses don't have a big enough ego to recognize that they are. That's the problem. You see the truth, but you don't trust it all the time, or like you don't see yourself clearly.
Yeah.
You don't trust. That's it. Aquariuses don't trust themselves.
I also don't trust people I love. That's a huge thing for me. I will trust a stranger, but the second like you're my friend or whatever, like I'll never trust that someone's being honest with me because I'm like, oh, they just don't want to hurt my feelings or like
Yeah. Well, and that comes down to your childhood, your upbringing, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But as an Aquarius, like you see the truth.
Yeah.
You just need to trust the truth.
Yes.
And that's why Pisces is one of your destiny signs, because Pisces is the sign of having faith and like having love, and you're here to learn these lessons. We can also think about Pisces being ruled by the planet Neptune. And if your destiny is to learn to be yourself in this lifetime, Neptune is that Pisces planet right on top of your career sign. That means you're here to be a musician, an artist.
Why am I in my own way?
Thank you for asking, so I don't have to, like that. It's your destiny. It's your karmic destiny. You're meant to tour the world and play music and express yourself and be seen, but you need to have a big enough ego and self-esteem to get over yourself.
That's definitely it. I mean, I just don't feel like I'm worthy of it.
Yeah.
Even though like, I'm like, oh, I know I'd be so good at it. I know I got it. I know I have it.
Yeah.
But I'll find every little excuse to be like, oh, I got to do this. Oh, I can't do this right now. I can't.
You're thinking too much about the details, that Virgo part of you.
Yeah.
You need to be Pisces and see the big picture.
Yeah.
So you need to get over yourself so you can get into yourself.
Get over yourself to get into yourself.
That's right, baby.
You heard it here first.
It's one of my favorite things to say with my clients.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just put that on merch.
Yeah. Ooh, Astro Daddy merch. Get over yourself to get into yourself.
I love that. You really should.
Thank you. All right.
Do it soon.
All right. Yeah.
Because someone's going to swipe this good idea.
All right. I'll get it. I'll get the merch ready before we put the episode out.
And then even on little hats over yourself and get into yourself.
I got my Pisces symbol on my hat. Yeah. So, all right. So we have that energy of learning to love yourself.
Yeah.
That's a major part of what Aquarius's purpose is. because the opposite sign Leo, they love themselves too much. That's why they're opposites, and that's why they get along so well.
It's true. I do. Yeah.
You love a Leo, right?
One of my best friends is a Leo, and she's just like, is so, doesn't care what anyone thinks about her, is just very much herself. Like, we get along great. She's a really special person. But I would never think like she has an ego, you know, she's just like, just in her own world, which I think is like, and I think she protects her space really well.
Yeah. And with that energy of like the Leos are natural performers. Aquariuses are natural inventors. Like an Aquarius makes music for the mentally stimulating aspect of it and the idea that maybe it'll change the world.
Yes.
A Leo makes music so that they have a reason to be in front of people and get attention.
I love that.
You know, but they're both great performers.
Yeah.
Because an Aquarius is going to make something original and unique and unconventional. And a Leo might do something a little bit more classic. Although I've seen a lot of Leos make some innovative music too. But a Leo...
Who's like a Leo that's like a musician? Do you know it that you can think of?
I can think of an Aquarius.
Okay.
Carole King.
Oh.
She's an Aquarius.
Man, that
you
musical was...
I love Carole, you know?
Such
but
amazing lyrics.
So unique.
Yes.
So different.
Yes.
Nobody was doing what she was doing.
Nope.
As for Leo, like, God, can you send me a Leo to have in my brain to think about?
We'll look it up after.
I guess so. No one's coming to mind.
Yeah.
But we've got Aquarius with Carole King. You know, it's too late, baby. No, it's too late. Do you like her music?
Yes. And there's so many songs that she wrote for other people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
So you have to learn to follow your career in this lifetime. You need to turn your passion into your career. And what I mean by that is you need to take your music and find yourself in it. Mm-hmm. You need to be yourself. You already do make music. So why are you hesitating?
Yeah, it's all I have new music and it's all ready. And it's just like one step away from just releasing it.
Okay. I can't wait because I'm obsessed with your music. I love it. You know, it's really good.
Yeah, I feel like I get a nervous feeling because when I release music, it's like very much me. So feeling very seen, very naked.
Yeah.
I'm like, what if nobody likes it?
Yeah.
But
I'm going to correct you.
Yeah.
I just gave you a compliment and you didn't accept it.
I never accept compliments. Thank you.
Get over yourself. I'm sorry, but I'm giving you a compliment.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're really talented. You're really talented. Look, your song was the third song on my Spotify 2022. It was number 3 on my list. I listened to you. Listen to you. Your music gets in my head and touches my soul.
Thank you.
You need to be putting more of yourself into that.
Yeah.
Because it's going to do it for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Get over yourself and get into yourself.
Get into yourself.
Seriously. So we have Sagittarius heavy in your birth chart. Saturn in Sagittarius. Saturn represents what we become with time as we age.
Yeah.
Sagittarius is learning to walk the middle of the road, getting out of extremes. It's learning to believe in yourself, learning to have faith that you can have everything you want in your life. Mm-hmm. And Saturn in Sagittarius also teaches us to be honest, especially with ourselves. So, my right ear is ringing.
Oh.
It's like, you too, Danny. Don't just keep telling her. All right, I hear you, spirit guides. But we have this Saturn in Sagittarius opposite of Chiron in Gemini. Chiron is our greatest pain, which leads to our most profound healing. Gemini is the sign of splits, divorces, breakups, addictions. These things hurt. Yeah. Are your parents divorced?
No.
Okay. Then I guess your own breakups in your lifetime?
I had the one I was telling you about. That's a Taurus that is on the cusp of Gemini.
He probably has some Gemini planets then. Yeah. You know, so
he's like the last day of Taurus.
Okay. Yeah. So for you, any Gemini energy, it's going to hurt you, but also heal you. So be careful with the extremes in life. Yeah. Because they're going to be painful. Yeah. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So we think about this energy of Sagittarius. You have to learn to be fully integrated in yourself. Stop cutting yourself in half with your Chiron and Gemini, splitting yourself in order to think you can get love that way.
Mm-hmm.
The lesson is to walk the middle of the road and love yourself and have faith that love is going to follow you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about this.
Well, it's just circling back to like doing the work for myself finally. Like, I guess I just always feel fully healed, but I'm only like partially, and I never like fully do the work. I never fully commit to what makes me happy. I'll only do something if it's like, I always have to trick myself if it's for somebody else. So it'll be like, oh, I used to have my Leo friend, like be my fake manager.
Okay.
So she basically would be my accountability person. I call her my assistant. But she was like my momager, my tour manager, like all these things. And she would just like make sure I would do things. So I felt like, oh, if I didn't do it, then I would upset her. So then I would end up getting things done for myself. I have to like trick myself.
Codependency.
Yeah.
Libra South Node.
So I'm like, I need to just be able to do that for me, of like think I'm just as important.
Yeah.
And like want to do that for myself.
Well, and why wouldn't you? You deserve it.
I know.
You know that?
I know that. I don't feel that.
Okay, because you can know things, and that's what Virgo is. Yeah, you know things.
Again, it's the
logical side.
I feel, I see it, and it's written very clearly, and I get it, and I'm self-aware enough to get it. But it's like the detachment is just missing it. And it won't connect to, oh yeah, I do deserve that.
Yeah,
like really feeling it, like, oh I do deserve that. I'm gonna go do that.
You and I need to do some soul retrieval work.
Yes.
You've got some shattered pieces. Maybe the Taurus still has a piece of you. This Pisces guy, he probably has a big piece of you as well, which he's allowed to.
Yeah.
But we want to call it back in. We want to call it back to yourself.
Yes.
Pieces with your parents, pieces with life in general. We need to call yourself back to yourself.
Yes.
But for you, in your birth chart, the only way you're going to do that is through spirituality. So we need to work together in some fashion.
Okay.
We're going to figure it out. Maybe I can do a sound bath on you, or who knows, guided plant medicine journey.
Yeah.
Something. I can take you to my teacher. All right. So we also see in your birth chart that romantic love is one of the greatest sources of transformation in your lifetime.
That would make sense.
But also trauma, sexuality.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to say about this kind of area?
I can say what my friends say, which are like, they probably feel like I can be very defined by my relationships. Again, I get just like so engulfed in them. It becomes like my whole world, and I completely will lose myself sometimes. So with every new relationship, I'm like, don't lose yourself, don't lose yourself, don't lose yourself, don't lose yourself. So again, it's like this being very grounded and not letting someone else's upset like enter my bubble.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, if you're upset, like I'm here for you if you need me, but I'm gonna protect myself right now. And if you need me, call for me, but I'm not gonna go out of my way. I usually will unsolicitedly go out of my way.
Yeah.
So that's like that. I know I really need to work on for me.
Yeah. Well, because love is going to transform you. You've got Pluto in the 7th house. So the 7th house is romantic love, and Pluto takes away everything that doesn't need to be there anymore. It will kill you and cause you to be reborn. So this is part of the reason why Libra is the South node in your birth chart, because it rules romantic love. And you've got Pluto there. So love is extreme and very intense. You fall into the Persephone myth.
What is that?
So she's the woman. She was born to this human named Demeter, and Persephone gets pulled into the underworld by Hades, and she's forced to eat the pomegranate seed, meaning they fuck. and she eats the pomegranate seed, and then she becomes the queen of the underworld. And she was ripped away from normal life and taken into the darkness. So that's what happens to you.
Yes.
You're ripped out of the light and taken into the dark to be forced to be transformed.
In a good way?
Well, ultimately, transformation brings purity.
Okay.
So you're being purified through your relationships. It's almost as if romantic love treats you the same way that ayahuasca treats somebody.
Oh, I don't like it. It's
Well,
a really emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, and you'll see demons. If you're going to drink Pluto or ayahuasca, you're going to see demons.
Do I need to just be a lonely spinster?
No, girl. You can have love, but you can only love others as deeply as you love yourself. So
Yeah.
if you love yourself purely, you can have whatever you want. You can have whoever you want. You know? So if you really love somebody, figure it out on your own, and you can have faith that they're going to come back to you.
You know, I once said everybody's somebody, but I'm not just anyone.
That's the song. God, we got to put it in the show notes or something so people can listen to you, and we'll tag you on all the social medias.
Okay.
You know, but to advocate for yourself,
Yeah.
by advertising your music more to other people, it's going to cause you to love yourself more. But it's so Leo. It's to be like, hey guys, look at me. Like, I'm the center of attention right now. That's going to be painful for you to do that.
Oh, it like the thought of it, like makes my blood boil and my skin crawl. I remember like being on a live and some people being like, why don't you talk about your music more? Like, we know you do music. But
Being on what?
On like a live.
Oh, on a live. I thought you were talking about something else.
Oh, no. No. On a live stream.
I thought you said on a live.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
like, now that like
we got TikTokers listening to this, so you got to watch what you're saying.
When I was on a live stream, I had people ask me like, why don't you advertise your music more? And I was like, I just don't know. But I always felt like, I'm like, oh, if I do it, it's cringy. But I always admire when I see other people being like, I wrote this song and they just put it out there. And I'm like, oh, it's so freaking brave and beautiful and like, good for you. Like, to shamelessly, like every day, just be putting out the same 15 seconds all the time, because you never know who's going to see it or which one's going to hit. And
it's like that guy Jake with his Golden Hour song.
Yeah. Just
every fifth swipe, it's like, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's a great
but
song,
it's like,
though. We love you, Jake.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, it might have taken the 30-second post or the 100th post, but then that's the one that mattered. And
Yeah.
if they stopped earlier, they would have never been where they are now.
You're going to make it, girl.
So I'm like, I need to be a little bit more shameless. And I tried for a day or two, but then I was like, I can't, you know?
This is your lesson. The only way you're going to get fame in this lifetime is by developing this part of yourself.
Developing that ego that I did not deserve in high school.
Oh.
That senior superlative.
Oh, but you were given it because you're meant to shapeshift into it.
Okay.
Life will teach you what you need to be by giving it to you.
Okay.
Right?
I need to have the biggest ego.
Yeah, you need to make your ego as big as the world, because Aquarius is the sign of the world.
Oh.
It's the sign of the planet. It's the ozone that hugs the planet and protects the planet. So hug yourself, girl. Come on, just bring it in. Give it to yourself. Some other cool things that you've got going on in your birth chart. You've got Mercury in Pisces. I have this as well.
What is that?
So Mercury represents our mind, our thought process, and our speaking voice.
Okay.
Our voice and our singing voice. So I have Mercury in Pisces too.
Yay.
And soft speakers, people that when you speak, it's done with love. Mm-hmm. But it's also like when you sing, it's done with love.
It's very intentional.
Yeah. It's just who we are. We've got this. But also your thoughts. Mercury is in its downfall in Pisces, because love doesn't necessarily help you when you're trying to do the daily details. Mm-hmm. Mercury is the planet of cleaning your car, washing your dishes, getting everything in order. It's that OCD control. And you've got Mercury, or excuse me, a Virgo South Node. So you're probably good at those things.
Yeah, but not consistent.
Yeah, because you got Mercury in Pisces. So it's like it's in its downfall. So instead of like doing all of those maintenance things, you might be daydreaming.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. So you've got this, but it also is going to make you incredibly dreamy. When you're writing music, you're writing about love. Mm-hmm. That's really what it comes down to.
It's true. I do.
So, and I do too.
Yeah.
You know, then you've got Jupiter in Pisces. So Jupiter is where we are the most expanded. And Pisces is the sign of spirituality, love, kindness, completion. So you're an old soul. You've done this quite a few times already.
Ugh, how many more lives?
Well, you've mastered love,
Okay.
loving other people.
Yes.
The lesson is to learn to love yourself, and you
Yeah.
have love in spades.
Is that my last goal?
That's your final lesson.
And then I'll just be in some higher plane, never existing on this earth.
You can come back if you want to teach
I'll
other
be like,
people.
I'll be like elite.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think I am, baby?
Hey.
But I have a big enough ego to say it.
Yeah.
My lesson is I need to learn to think about other people more than myself. So we got a lot to learn from each other. You know what I mean? So we've got this energy of Jupiter in Pisces. Jupiter is where we are so expanded that our gifts are found there as well, but also our demons. So your demon is love and loving others more than you love yourself.
Yes.
You have an excellent ability to love. You have probably one of the greatest abilities to love.
That I know with my whole heart.
Yeah, Jupiter in Pisces, and it's in the 12th house.
I can confidently say I'm like everybody's greatest love. And
Yeah.
that's the only time I'll have an ego, because I'm like, I loved you. Like when I loved you so deeply, and they know that.
But the problem is you didn't love you.
That's true.
So
That's true.
It was their greatest love, but it also matched them,
Yeah.
you know?
Where they're at. Yeah.
It also matched where they were at. So the lesson in this lifetime is to find that ability to love yourself with complete unabandon. That's it. You can't abandon yourself anymore.
Yeah.
Jupiter in Pisces is one of the most blessed placements in astrology, because your demons come down to being too compassionate. Your demons come down to being too nice, too loving, too kind. If you're going to have a demon, that's not a bad one, okay?
So my demon is being a doormat, which is very much me.
But the strength that comes with this is you are a spiritual powerhouse.
Yeah.
You have the ability to connect psychically to other dimensions, to other realms, through creation, through connection. You're talented. You're gifted.
Can I manifest?
Yes.
I don't think
You can have whatever you want.
I don't know if I'm good at manifesting.
Well, the number one rule is
Loving yourself.
master yourself.
Okay.
And you can have anything. Or else you're going to have to keep being reincarnated until you do this.
Gotcha.
That's the purpose. Earth is a teaching place. We come down here to learn how to do shit. We gain tools and skills, and there's other places to go to learn too. This is just one of the harder ones.
And why are some people born like evil?
That's not for us to know.
Oh, okay.
You know? Well,
You know, like some people that do bad things where I'm like, did they just not learn in many past lives?
what I'm going to say, and I've said this on other
Okay.
episodes, is evil.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we'll use the word demons as
Yeah.
interchangeable, because I just fucking love talking about demons. I do it on so many episodes. Our demons are our greatest teachers. So evil is here to teach us. The most profound calling of all in life is to go into the darkness and still choose the light. So those demons, those people who have evil in their heart will learn one day. And they're
So
going to
they-
learn harder
Gotcha. So they're given even harder.
lessons.
Okay.
But the lessons that they give are hard too. You know, I've had sex with demons. I've dated demons. I've been there. So like, why would I do that to myself?
Yeah.
It's the same question of why would somebody be evil?
Yeah.
It comes down to how much you love yourself. And if you do love yourself, you don't choose evil.
Yeah.
You can only love others as deeply as you love yourself. A demon doesn't know love. Part of my work in this lifetime is to go in there and to help people learn to love themselves a little bit more. So I think this is a good place for us to kind of call the episode. We're coming up on our time here. I just clicked my timer off. Can you please just give yourself a shout out, let people know how and where they can find you?
My name is Svi, and you can find me on all platforms at Svi Music, SVE Music. And I'm available on Spotify, Apple Music, all streaming. Obviously, it'd be so awesome if you decided, you know, let me be like super retro and buy her album on iTunes.
Ooh.
So that would be cool. So yeah.
And if we don't say this, love is the greatest force in the universe. You have to love yourself.
I have to love myself.
And I love you, girl.
I love you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the Astro Daddy podcast. This is Danny Santos, and we'll be back next time.